Hello everyone, my name is Zara Durrani. I would like to welcome you to On Location with Zara, produced with the support of TELUS STORYHIVE. Today we're here at a very amazing, inspiring female entrepreneur who has paved the path for many women, many female designers, not just Canadian designers, and I'm just so honored to know her, to call her a friend, to wear her beautiful designs, because I'm not the only one who's a fan of her work. People like Elizabeth Taylor, Cher, the Kardashians, Oprah, Cameron Diaz, Sofia Vergara, the list of Hollywood celebrities goes on and on. We're here at her atelier in Railtown. I'm talking about none other than Christine Morton. Christine, welcome.
Thank you. You're very welcome here. Yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you, and what a beautiful space.
Yeah.
I am a fan of the exposed brick, and
Right.
I was like, okay, where are we going to film next? I messaged Christine when she was away. Can I share where you were?
Yeah.
We were all going to get a little bit jealous. She was in Barbados, and it was freezing in Vancouver, and I'm texting Christine, hi, we would like to film at your location. So here we are. Last year, Christine celebrated 50 years in business. 50 years, 50.
I know,
wow.
it's unbelievable.
As you look back, do you feel like the time just went by in the blink of an eye?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really hard looking back. I'm writing stories about it on my blog, and I can't remember, and I think, oh, I have to bring it all back. And so I look at all these old pictures and old designs, and it's quite lovely to do that at this stage in your life. So
that's truly amazing. And you have so many interests and passions other than this, which we'll dig into later on. But with every guest who I bring on the show, I really like to hit the rewind button and start from the beginning, really dig deep. So what inspired you to get into designing women's lingerie? Because especially 50 years ago, if you're telling your parents or people that you're working with, I aim to become a designer for women's lingerie, women's intimate wear, and making them feeling inspired and empowered and confident and beautiful. But 50 years ago,
it was a different world.
I'm sure people must have given you looks.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't really start with lingerie. I started with making, my passion's lace. So I collect all these antique laces from garage sales or estate sales, that kind of thing. So I was getting quite a big collection, and I'd make them into these amazing, beautiful Edwardian blouses with like pin tucks. I mean, they're all the rage now. High necks and details, and just very intricate. And go to sell them, and I mean, there's only a certain amount of people that want that look, but it was expensive for me. So I decided to find something I could use the lace on that I could make more of. And that's where the lingerie came, because I had collected I'm a collector, so I have from 20s and 30s all these clothes and things, and I had some beautiful pieces of silk camisoles and little tap pants and teddies, and I thought, well, why not try this? Okay, so nobody had ever heard of a teddy. I mean, it was like a stuffy, and what are these little camisoles like? What do you do with them? But there was enough people that saw it, and that's how it began. Yeah.
I have one of the ones, the red with black lace. And I love the look of wearing, either fitted denim or even really wide leg. And that, and maybe like a blazer on top, or on a hot summer day, you could just have that. It's such a look, because right away, I mean, you could wear it to work if you want, and then you take off your blazer in the evening. So you're really a pioneer in your field, and obviously your work is admired not just by locals, like around the world. It goes from, to see Oprah on the cover of her magazine, wearing this beautiful lavender PJ set from Christine.
Yes.
Like, what a moment for you.
That was quite a story. I have this beautiful store in New York called Takashimaya that carried my brand, and the way she put it together was just exquisite. and the stylist for Oprah had come in and chosen quite a number of pieces of different brands. And she said, when it came to time, she chose my pajama. And
Oprah chose yours.
yeah. So this buyer phones me and she says, I think we're going to need some more lavender pajamas. And I'm going, well, why? What's going on? She said, well, Oprah's going to be on the cover. And I went, oh no, And she sent it to me overnight.
Oh my goodness.
And I just about died when I saw it, because one of the things was they never had lavender pajamas, but they had recolored the whole thing because she's a lavender girl, right? She loves lavender. So we immediately sent off and got fabric in and made lots of pajamas.
And it's such a flattering color on her skin tone, because when I see, like, I know even for me, I feel like I look good in many different because of the skin tone, yet there's certain colors, like I'm wearing one of Christine's pieces right now for spring. Yeah. Is it called something? What I'm wearing?
Avignon. This is called Avignon.
Oh, very French, en français. And I think one of the things that I love about the slip dress that I'm wearing is you can actually wear it as a dress.
It's so gorgeous on you.
I'm personally a fan of wearing pieces that feel like nothing, but it's a long, beautiful dress. You could wear it to a gala, to an event. Sorry, I totally sidestep from the beginnings to Oprah, because just Oprah's vision in that, because she really stands out, and then you really see the PJs, so going to your beginnings, I remember one of the conversations we had last year is like you going to the bank, saying like, okay, I'm going to be creating these beautiful designs for women. And what the reaction of people was like, again, that's like the 1970s. It is not today's world. I would love to hear about some of the struggles that you've had to overcome as a female entrepreneur, and especially not just a female entrepreneur who's making dresses, a female entrepreneur, a female designer who's making gorgeous designs to make women feel confident, beautiful, and classy in their intimate wear.
Yeah, well, I think when I first started, my father's an entrepreneur, and so he was quite shocked that I didn't want to go into his glass business, although it was a very successful glass business. And I thought, well, that's a very hard surface. I couldn't deal with that. But I told him what I was going to do, and he was like, okay, like, we'll give you some time. And so he really taught me a lot about business. And when it got to the point that I needed to go to the bank, it was a little frightening just going in, and I had done a whole cash flow. I believed all the numbers, and I really felt, took all my pictures. Well, it was exciting to meet someone, which I did quite early on, that really believed in what I was doing, and he supported me. And the line of credit just got bigger and bigger as we grew, But I must say, there came a time when business was a little dicey, the economy was difficult, and this fellow got replaced. And they called my line. And at that point, it was $250,000, and we want you to pay it by the end of the month.
Excuse me?
The end of the month.
Wow.
Yeah, or they're going to shut me down. Yeah. So I did.
This is when, like around
oh, well,
the 80s?
It's probably
minus?
about the 80s, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe the late 80s. So I came up with the idea, because we had so much stock. I think we were selling to La Vie en Rose, and they had just canceled their order because of the economy, and it was like, I had all this stuff.
I never knew about your connection with La Vie en Rose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the buyer there was a wonderful woman, and she really believed you put Christine in the window, it'll bring people in, and then they'll buy something, I was the draw, the beauty, so that was fun. She was very supportive. But so anyway, I got together with some managers to got some help. We opened up a store on South Granville Street for a month. So it was like my first pop-up store, which was probably the first pop-up store in Vancouver. I don't know, but we put all racks
So
and
you
racks.
just came up with the idea that we're going to have this store that will be up for just a month, which is very innovative. You're always thinking ahead and coming up with creative ideas.
Yeah. Well, you kind of have to. It was a very, it was a pretty scary time, and anyway, we had lineups up the block. I remember the first night, the windows were all steamed up, and because there were so many people in the place, and we had everything at a good price, so we made our bank at the end of the month, and we persuaded him to keep us going.
Christine, that's truly amazing. Which leads me to ask the question, I'm sure there's a lot of millennials and Gen Z watching who are perhaps wanting to follow their passion, or because you're this creatress, you're the designer, but you're also an entrepreneur, like coming up with ideas like pop-ups like back in the 80s. What advice would you give to someone who's watching right now, who's wanting to not even just become a designer, but also as an entrepreneur, because you seem to have a very innovative and creative mind when it comes to getting out of some very sticky situations?
Yeah, we've been in a few sticky situations. I think for me, I've always had a passion for lace, for beautiful fabrics, for design. And, there's many times, well, early on, where people would say to me, we could take you offshore and we could, make it into a whole big business. And I thought, oh, wow, that's so exciting. And I thought, no, this is my baby, and I love it. And I love it the way it is, because I can be in control. I can design the things I love and work with the colors and fabrics. So I think passion is really important, and to stick to what you really believe in. And if you're miserable in your job, leave it. But there's things that have been hard, they're difficult, and I go, well, how can we change so that I can enjoy this again? Over the years, 50 years, there's been a few times where I've gone, is there something else?
And also, I'm sure innovation and inspiration and constantly evolving the brand, while also seeing what are the client's needs, and perhaps anticipating what they're going to like, yet at the same time remaining true to yourself, because that's what's really gotten you this far, like 5 decades.
5 decades.
It's not a joke. And you have staying power. You have resilience, and not just, and the fact that you didn't just, have something made,
sent it away.
Yes,
you deal with it.
Everything Christine brand is made here in Vancouver. I've had the beautiful opportunity to come here during the week and meet the seamstresses, meet the folks working behind the scenes, and that's truly amazing. And I think that's what inspires me about meeting you, the fact that I'm seeing these designs, wearing these beautiful, whether camisoles or slips or anything from you. The fact that it's made here locally in Vancouver, it's Canadian designed and Canadian made. So that is something to be truly proud of, Christine.
I think that's huge, because over the years, originally there was a number of manufacturers here, but over the years they've really gone. Small companies have gone, and we really believe that we can produce a quality garment. I have my source. I've had them for years. Alina, who is in charge of my production, actually came to me. Interestingly, she was a boat person from Laos, and our church was sponsoring a boat. And I heard through the grapevine that one was a seamstress, and I thought, oh, well, let's meet her. She was 21 years old, I think, when she came. Well, she's still here now. And her mother sewed for me. Her grandmother made all these little rosebuds and frogs for me. Her sisters came, and they worked while she was off having babies. And it's been a wonderful legacy for them as a family to be a part of this growth. And I don't know what I would have done without her. She's really, and I think that's the other key, is to find people that that believe in what you're doing and want to be a part of it and want to see it grow. Because over the years, it's definitely, you know, you have different needs, and I can do so much, but it's really bringing people on board that can work well with me, and be passionate too. So, yeah.
So what I'm also hearing from you is to make sure that you surround yourself with people who have similar dreams and aspirations and who are passionate about what you do. So whether someone who is watching right now, the fact that Christine, you know, you shared some stories with us about being in sticky situations, and then you're called to step up to it. It's sink or swim, you know, either we're going to try something, we're going to have that pop up, which I'm sure, again, people must have been like, how are you going to get out of that? What do you mean that you're doing a store for only a month? And you know, you were able to get the sales, get the numbers exactly that you needed to get yourself out of that situation. And you work a lot with women. You're a big feminist, and you're really passionate about inspiring and empowering women, whether through wearing your designs or employing them, or through your charitable work. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, again, I think it's really amazing how we've come across different people, different women. And one of my stories, one of my favorite kind of, I don't know, beautiful friendships that I've built is with a family from Rwanda that were in a camp and in Uganda, and they'd been there for years. And the government, because there was 5 siblings, there was 4 women and 1 man, brought them over here, and we met them at a dinner one night and invited them home to come over and have a meal with us. Well, they had just kind of arrived, and everything it was winter and it was cold, and they sat by the fire all huddled, you know. And you know, this is 11 years ago, and now we have loved them and cared for them, and they've all got children. I think there's 8 or 9 children, and they call me grandma, and you know, it's quite sweet. You know, we just really care for them. So I really like to help people, like different charities like that. Yeah.
That's really beautiful. And the fact that, you know, you also employ a lot of women and men, you know, here through Christine Lingerie. And I think that's something that I'm truly passionate about when I hear your story, the fact that things are getting designed, manufactured, and everything that is being done here. Now I want to talk a little bit about 50 years of Christine Lingerie and how your style and your designs have evolved over the decades. You know, I'm sure from your passion for lace, and you've had a few collection pieces, like, you know, your anniversary pieces.
Yes, they were really bringing back that.
So tell us about, you know, your designs from when you first started to now, the evolution.
I think I started with a camisole, a tap pant, and a teddy. So I had 3 pieces. They all had antique lace on them, because I didn't know where to get any lace at that point. And we made little silk rosebuds. One of my first jobs was being a gift wrapper. And so I learned how to make those little rosebuds. So I made them in beautiful colors of silk, tied them in little bows. And my first trip to New York, I took these and went into Bergdorf Goodman, and they were like, oh my gosh, like, they're so unique. There was something that they'd never seen before. And then I also...
And you just walked in, you were like, okay, I want to show I'm a designer from Canada. This is what I'm creating in Vancouver. If this is something you'd be interested in, you just walked right in.
Well, it was interesting because I got appointments like that first time with Bergdorf's, with Bloomingdale's and Saks. And I came home kind of, oh, that was great. But people are going, what? Like, how did you do that? And so I'm very blessed, I must say, with the way my career has evolved, and really felt like there's a purpose, there's a reason for this, and the way it's working. And so that was that was kind of right at the very beginning, knowing that I had something that was unique that people would want. So it was very affirming. Yeah.
And what were some of the color palettes that you were working with when you first started, and then evolving into going to Saks and Bergdorf's and Bloomingdale's? You know, because obviously when I see the pieces here, everything, you know, from your bridal collection to spring now, or, you know, I like how the fall and winter you were playing with velvet, and now we're into very light, breezy for spring right now. But in terms of the design and the print, and how do you feel that has evolved for you from when you started to now?
Well, I think when I started, it was all very muted, soft, vintage. I was really into the vintage look.
Was it
like this type of thing? This is a piece from my anniversary collection. So again, we brought the rosebuds back, and we just kind of covered it all with this beautiful Chantilly lace, which you know, and I dyed it this funny sort of muted gray color.
It looks so delicate. It looks truly.
So that's a very vintage looking piece. And then the one behind is also one I did years ago that I brought back, because I was trying to just do things that I had loved, and I went into my archives and found those and thought, let's show them again. But over the years, I think the biggest change was when I started with prints and got very excited about just working with prints and just doing simple bodies, camisoles and robes and caftans, and that was kind of a big change, and that has stayed with me through the years. We would find a print, or actually now we're designing our own prints, which is really fun. You know, it's so many things you can do. But we get the print, and then we would dye all the silk colors in the print to match. So you would be wearing the little slip dress with a robe over top. I think that over the years, the collection's become a lot simpler, almost just easy, you know, because I think that's what people are wanting. The slip dressing, you know, we do them all in different lengths, many different colors. So, you know, I think that's the feeling. I mean, we do iconic prints with peacocks and things. You have to go into my studio because I've got them all here, and it's really fun to show people, because the first time they come in and see all these different designs, and then they put them on, they're like, oh well, we're just into silk, you know, they won't wear anything else.
Yeah, completely. And the way that it feels on the body, I just want to pull up some of the pieces, like the peacock from the velvet collection that you did last year. And you're not just doing women's, you're also doing men's.
We started a men's line a couple of years ago, and we've designed a print for men's. That was the velvet. That was a fabulous print. And then
I fell in love with the peacock velvet slip dress. That was certainly something. And then there's the robe that is matching. So that was truly. I actually wore it in Paris during Fashion Week.
You did.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some gorgeous pictures of you in Paris with that. Yeah, I'll show you. This is one of the prints that we designed.
And this is for spring 2024.
Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah. So we see you did a beautiful gown, which again people wear out as dresses. I've had my glamour gown, which is
my mic is having a little completely something like this. It's the same cut, yes, it's the same as what I'm wearing right now.
Very similar. Yes. So they're very easy to wear, and then we have like bridal pieces, like these beautiful little chemises with lace. So there's lots in the collection. This is the robe I'm wearing, and it has a beautiful geisha girl on the back.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah. And there's one of my bridal pieces again.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's this guy right
here,
right?
That's right. That's right.
So beautiful, so delicate. Yeah, certainly, like nothing like wearing silk. I remember when I wore your red with the lace on the side, and it's a long slip dress, and I wore it in Paris, but I also wore it for a film festival premiere here in Vancouver, and you know, just many heads turning, and the way that it fits you, I could certainly get away with wearing it as a dress, you know, without any jacket or anything, because I like the lace, the black lace. Yeah, like it just really helps cinch in your waist, and really feminine, yet also very glamorous. And head turning statement piece for sure. So something you can wear in the evenings at home, and you can wear it on the red carpet. So, you know, thank you so much for showing your spring collection. Tell me about some of the inspiration for this spring 2024 collection.
Yeah. This is what we did last year is made a collection that was a lot of inspiration from prints I'd done before. And so moving into this spring, we sort of carried that forward. And I think it's you know, it's been really interesting to go through my archives. We did that recently, and I've got bins sort of tucked away under the stairs, and I dug them all out, and I mean, my staff had never seen them before. And I work collaboratively with a couple of people. So I've got Evan Clayton, who's a designer in his own right. He's working close to me, and Raymond Lee, who does all my sales, and you know, he's fabulous. He runs the place. So I work with them, and it's fun, you know. So I brought out all these. It's like a tickle trunk, you know. I remember this and I remember that, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, like we have to use that again." So that was sort of where some of this came from, and it was really. It's exciting to look at what's been done, and as we know, everything seems to come around. Yes.
Especially right now, all the 90s styles, you know, that the Gen Z is wearing right now. It's like, I wore that back in the day, the baggy shirts, the almost, you know, that sort of look, the camisole, the little, with your denim, like in early 2000s, like I lived in that sort of look where it was almost that lingerie on top, and then I would have my jeans, my denim, and it just gave it that was literally what I would wear going out.
That's great.
And
That's
that
great.
whole it's cycling through, so everything certainly does come back.
And I think with our cuts that we do, our gowns and our chemises and the camisoles, we cut everything on the bias. So it's not like a square piece of fabric like this. It's shapes, because it drapes so well. So that makes for an excellent fit, because if you're a little bigger in the hip, it just smoothly goes over your hip. And you know, we really strive to make garments that fit and sort of give you some support, and that you can wear and feel really comfortable in.
So I was in Paris for Fashion Week last September, October, and one of my dear friends, Laure Chikatowska, LK Paris Couture, she has an atelier in the 17e arrondissement in Paris, in the 17th, close to Arc de Triomphe. And I was trying on some of her outfits. She does mostly bridal and custom pieces, and she's dressed Miss France many times, and a lot of like celebrities from, you know, France and Lebanon and Morocco who come to Paris to film their music videos. And I was also, because she has a beautiful atelier, I wanted to shoot some pictures wearing some of your pieces that I took to Paris. And one of them was this gorgeous long teal slip, and her seamstress was steaming it for me. And Laura looked at the way you had designed it, and she was like, "This is bias cut." And she's like, "You have to be really talented to do something like this, and to make how it flowed." And the slip dress had, I felt, a life of its own, because what I like about your designs is they look like, yes, they're really like the silk is hugging your body, but there's movement and air. So it's so feminine and ethereal almost, that the slip is moving with you. I remember going into a few shows wearing a few of the designs from Christine, the red slip and the teal one. A lot of heads were turning.
I bet.
And because
Yeah.
it's moving with you, but it's like air.
Yeah.
So tell me about that feeling, because you obviously are doing that consciously, that how you want something to look like on
Absolutely.
the woman wearing
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Like how you want the woman
Yeah.
to feel.
Yeah, no, it's really important. I think when you put something on that you feel the luxury of it. And the silk fabric that we're working with is fantastic. I mean, it's so rich and supple, you know, like you just want to touch it, right?
Yeah.
And but what we do, we have a gown called the glamour gown, and it's our most sellable gown.
Is the glamour gown the teal one I was talking about? Okay.
Yeah. So this one, it has little pleats in it and things, and it's actually Sofia Vergara was wearing it on Modern Family recently, and there was just the thing is it's got a cup that can. Because it's pleated, it can fit someone who's very small, but it can also fit like an E cup. And then we've got lace under here that gives support. So, you know, we're always trying to work with the design to make it comfortable. First of all, very comfortable, but also very supple and gorgeous, and give support. Yeah, it's really important.
Completely. And I think what really stands out for me, obviously you can tell I'm a bit of a fan, is the elegance. You know, yes, we have lace and it's lingerie and beautiful designs that you can take from evening to daytime to out, red carpet and different events, or even just a garden party if you like. But it's elegant and beautiful and sensual at the same time, because of course working on television, I MC events, I'm an actor, I'm, you know, going to different events, whether in Vancouver or in Paris. I personally have a certain brand, which is, you know, like, yes, I like to look beautiful. I also want to look and feel elegant with that sensual vibe.
Absolutely.
Without being, for me personally, like, okay, here she is. Yet, you know, that feminine vibration, which I feel really comes through in everything that you design, that it is truly elegant. You know, the pieces are classic that you're going to have in your closet for a very long time, that is not just for this season because this print is in style, yet this is something that you can have, you can pass it on, you know, or something that's going to stay in your closet for a very, very long time. So the teal design, I think this is a bit far away. It was this dress here, and that dress is quite phenomenal. And then I've also worn this one right over here. It's that one that I have in red, and
the way in red.
The way the lace fits and accentuates, and the way that I feel, for me, it's fantastic. There's certainly, like, you know, I can wear to red carpet events, to MC, to do interviews, so it's fabulous. So we have your, I know on camera we're just seeing these pieces right over here, but for your spring collection, you have a lot of the beautiful florals, you have pinks, you have soft
pistachio.
Ooh, delicious way to put it. Pistachio.
Heavenly blue.
Heavenly blue.
We love to work with colors. We love to work with colors. Yeah, and I was also going to say, what's interesting when you were talking about your friend in the bridal, because we did bridal. I don't know if you knew that. We did bridal for quite a few years. When I first, you know, once the lingerie was kind of established, then I got married, actually. That's where it started. And my bridesmaids, I made them all different dresses that were out of like a chiffon, but with a rose color underneath, which all had the pin tucks and lace, the antique lace. So that became my first bridal collection. And I did bridal for maybe 10, 15 years. Did a lot of custom brides, women in the city. I mean, many, many women in the city, mothers of the bride. Some of the slip dresses would be worn as bridesmaids' dresses. So that was kind of a whole era for me. We did a lot of tea dresses, like little all detailed with lace, but just more of a afternoon tea look with hats. We even did hats. I mean, it was really fun. It was really fun.
And you're also doing some events you were mentioning
Oh,
earlier here. Julian, am I able to like pull off some of these? Okay, I'm gonna stand up and take out some of these beautiful pieces. This is, I'm gonna get you to hold this,
Yeah, it's so
Christine.
pretty.
And this is truly stunning. Excuse me.
Yeah, we did a bridal show earlier in the year,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're encouraging brides to come and spend an evening with us, have a shower here or whatever, and just bring your friends and come and try on lingerie for the afternoon or evening, and drink some champagne. Yeah.
Or do you think even if you're not a bride, you can still have maybe like a birthday
I
party
think
and
you
like
could.
and treat yourself to some, you know, some self-love and
that's right.
bring your friends over and.
Oh yeah, no, it's really fun to do that. We had recently, I have a swimming group because I swim every morning at 6:30 in the ocean, and I invited all these girls over, and first of all they were very sort of shy and, oh yeah, look at this and this, and then of course they just couldn't get enough dresses in the change room. I mean, it was just so much fun.
Of course, I'm super in love with this.
Yeah, this is a real
This
special
is-
piece. This we inspired by a Hollywood antique lace or antique lingerie, you know, in the movies. And this was from a very old movie, and I just thought, oh, look at it, it's covered in lace. It's so pretty, and you can see the little rosettes in chiffon.
And I feel like it's one of those colors that can look good on any skin tone.
Yeah.
From very light and fair to warmer. It's truly the lace and the attention to detail is truly amazing.
And
so,
I have, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I have people that come in and tell me that they bought lingerie years ago. You know, it's interesting, you've been around for so long. Anyway, and they've passed it down to their daughters, and they've kept it really well. But you know, that's the whole idea. It's like an heirloom in their family. So it's really special.
Well, that's, you know, it's couture. It's luxury pieces that are designed with love, with a lot of intention here locally. So tell us about some exciting things that are happening with the brand, Christine. You know, you celebrated 50 years last year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's truly iconic and very inspiring. So tell us about how you celebrated 50 years. And then, you know, what's happening this year in 2024?
Yeah. Well, we had a wonderful party at Romantique, which is the store in West Vancouver that carries our whole brand, and it was really lovely. Lynn gave me this big, huge pile of flowers, and I asked the people coming to wear their Christine. And there was a few people that came in their 90s, and you know, they were older women, and they were a bit shy, but they had the nerve to actually come in a 90 and walk down the street. My husband's not so sure about this, and you know, it was really cute. And one woman had brought a bag full of things, and it was just so precious to look at them, like these little slippers we used to make that were all like hand done with roses, and little bags, you know, little cosmetic bags and things. And then of course the dress she got married in, which was you know, it was stunning. I was so excited to see it again.
The dress she got married in was a Christine design?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's lovely to have, you know, I met a woman the other night at a party, and she said, oh, I have been buying your things for years, and my mom used to bring me in, you know. Anyway, it's sweet. So that was kind of a fun event, and then we did you know, we did a few different things over the year that were you know, just to celebrate together. It was great. And I think going into 2024, we are excited to like what is happening is I'm working closer with clients. You know, we have a number of stores we sell to. Neiman Marcus in the States carries our whole collection, and they do very well with it, and that seems to be growing for sure. That's growing. And then we have a number of boutiques across the U.S. and Canada. But I'm finding that with our website, I'm getting to know some of those customers, which is quite lovely.
Who can be from around the world, like not just in North America, when they're seeing pieces. Could be someone in France, in Paris, in Asia, and
this one woman in the UK was so excited about this was the, I don't know if you can really see it there, but it was a gown and a cover with a train and you know, just lace everywhere.
It's so ethereal.
Yeah, so she wanted one, but she's very small, she said. So we cut this, you know, we cut this especially for her, and then we sent it, and she was just thrilled. So then she's ordered another set.
That is custom just for her.
It's custom, yeah. I mean, we don't design. We're able to take the designs and do them in different colors or lengths and things like that. So it makes it really special, I think. So I'm hoping to see a bit more of that. Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
You were mentioning earlier about, you know, seeing all these ladies come into West Vancouver, and I think that was the day before I was flying out to Paris. So my day was so jam-packed that I couldn't really come out and celebrate with you. That was back in September, mid-September. But how does it feel for you, the fact that you're impacting and making women of all ages, sizes, shapes, you know, different races, make them feel beautiful, and the fact that they're showing up and saying, I don't know if I'm, you know, they're not models, like they're you know, they're yet at the same time, they're obviously fans of your work, and what you're designing, it connects with them, and it makes them feel beautiful, because just like as soon as I, you know, it's an experience. And the fact that here in Vancouver, like, I think that's why I'm a fan of your work, and I'm so excited to, you know, interview you and highlight your pieces whenever I get a chance, is you're a Canadian designer, you know, you're designing everything here with a huge passion to inspire women, to inspire female entrepreneurs to work, and you've opened many doors for many women. And I think the fact that I just want to know, how does that feel for you? You know, how does that land for you when you're in a room with all these women who are not models, wearing Christine designs?
Yeah, it's actually quite humbling. That's how I feel. You know, I'm just kind of in awe that, I mean, my passion is to make beauty, just to, and for women to appreciate their beauty, and when they can actually come into, wear things out. You know, even you just wearing this, I mean, it just looks stunning on you.
Thank you.
It's kind of, you know, it really is wonderful to see that excitement, or that sense of, you know, how wonderful they feel. Like, it's like the first time someone comes here and they put on silk and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so fantastic. Well, it's a bit like that, where you just think, oh wow, it's really, it really makes it all worthwhile. You know, it was quite lovely to have all these people come in vintage Christine. But it's true, you know, it's vintage, and certainly I have a collection of vintage robes and things that I'll have to show you, because they're all the antique lace, and they're quite lovely. So I'll have to show you those too. But even them, we made so many of those, and still people show up with them. You know,
that's
it's
so
neat.
lovely.
It's neat.
And I love the fact your doors are open, you know, you're manufacturing in the back, and your next door is, you have a space next door as well.
We do have a space next door. So we have a cutting room with a number of sewers working. But most of our production is done in my seamstress's home. So it's like a cottage industry. So they've worked for me for years. So they actually will get one garment one style with maybe 50 pieces or however many we're doing at the time, and they'll make the whole piece, the whole design. So we know which seamstresses work best with which design. So it goes out of here, and we know when it comes back, it'll be a piece of quality. But the idea that there's one woman that sat and sewed it start to finish, I think is quite lovely. You know, it's not like a factory where, you know, it's passed along a production line. And even the women in here, you know, it's lovely to see them work, and they're able to make pieces up. Like for our website, if we get an order in and we don't have the inventory, then they have to make it up quite quickly. So that's why we keep the sewers here too.
That's fantastic. And then if you're planning on having a bridal event,
Yes.
or you're getting married soon, you can come down over to Christine's. And I love the fact that you were mentioning earlier on, and even right now, you have a lot of beautiful slips in pastels and different colors that women can wear as bridesmaids dresses in different styles, whether shorter, longer, this cut, or some of the others with lace. I think that's such a great idea, that if you're, you know, I've been part of like wedding parties, and you know, one of my friends got married last year, and it's a great dress, it looks great in the photos then and there, but I'm thinking, when am I going to wear it again? You know, and it's a lovely get at when you have something that is like a slip dress in a silk. It's a great gift to give to your bridesmaids, that, you know, they can continue to wear and perhaps remember that day. What else can we expect from Christine this year, or something that you're aiming for this year?
Yeah, well, we're going to spend more time actually videoing all of our collections, because that seems to have been a really fun. We're getting a lot of response from that.
I was just mentioning that
Yes,
to
you were.
that I'm loving video content, because I think photos are wonderful, but to see
it move. That's the whole thing, I
yes,
think.
and to see it move and see how it moves with your body, you can have an experience, and especially for your online shoppers, that can be something.
That's right. Yeah. But also for some of our stores, we'll put together a whole story about our new collection for fall and send that out. And so we're developing that now. You know, I really want to make this work for me at my age, and so there's certain things that I'm tired of, and traveling is one of them. You know, I want to travel on holidays. I don't want to travel on work. So we're trying to work. You know, we're speaking to our customers and trying to develop a different way of being. And I think that's when we're a company the size that we are, we're able to do that. And that's part of the reason I think I've been able to stay as long as we have. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad that you brought up about, you know, being an entrepreneur, being tired. You know, you're doing so many things. I can so relate.
Yeah, of course.
I had like a 16, 17-hour day yesterday, and you know, I was working all through the week, and I'm doing this in between working on this show. I'm working on set, and then I'm auditioning, and I have a dog and a cat.
That's right.
I just have, you know, you just have so many things. Like I was speaking to a friend, and they were like, yeah, you have so many different jobs, you know. I mean, I'm sure as you do you under the label of Christine. So my question is finding that balance, because I truly find that creativity comes from that place of rest.
Absolutely.
And you know, I cherish my rest so much now, being in my 40s, but yet at the same time, I sometimes feel guilty. I'm like, oh, what could I be planning next? What could I be doing? You know, yet when I was texting you and you were saying you're in Barbados, and I was like, yes, because in Paris, it was a fantastic time for me to get away and to be there for Fashion Week. It was supposed to be a vacation. It turned into a full-blown work trip, you know, and I'm like, okay, I love working, but you know, you have to find that balance, especially as an artist, because what you're putting out into the world is from you. You know, I know you have a great team behind you.
I have a great team, yes,
yet
I do.
At the same time, you are the person who's coming up with the majority of the ideas. I know that they have the they can support and give their input. How do you find that, and how has that changed and evolved for you over the years? Because I'm sure a lot of people watching could use some advice in that manner, because we're used to having that entrepreneur mindset of like go go go, hustle hustle hustle, but it's going to lead to a burnout.
I think you have to have a balance, and I have 3 children, which I brought up through all of this, and I would go to New York 5 times a year, for different shows, and be gone for 5-6 days at a time. And I had a husband who was fantastic. I give him a list. This is what they're doing, all their extra activities, and he would take it over. But otherwise, I was there to do that, and it's stressful. It's a lot. So you really have to have supportive people in your family, and perhaps out as well. And now I'm at a point where my children they're in their 30s, all grown up, and I have a little granddaughter. So now it's like I'm working 2 days a week with one and a third day for Piper, my granddaughter. And I want that time with her. She's only 2, so it's fun. It's really fun. But then I've got other days where they're free days for me to go in my garden or go for a walk in the hills. Those kinds of things are really important. Also, my swimming has been a huge change, and I know you swim too. Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about health and fitness. I have yet to learn to swim, but I go for cold plunges.
You don't
I
swim?
know. It sounds blasphemous. I was born in Pakistan, in Lahore. Like when I was 2.5, my mom did take me for swimming lessons. I feel like this will be the year that I'm gonna, like at least like once a week or something, or maybe a few times a month, like get swimming lessons. I know this is going to sound so funny. I've been so busy creating things, projects, and to make time to learn a new activity, whether it is tennis or swimming or whatnot, when so much of your energy is going to output of like creative, whether creating shows like this or auditioning, or like I was just part of a play. I'm like, I know I want to be like Beyonce and do so many things, but there's only certain amount of time that you have. So I'm going to talk about health and fitness. Are we allowed to talk about your age, Christine?
Yes, I'm 72. Yes.
And tell me about your passions. And something that I was very excited and curious to read is that you also went scuba diving.
I did. I learned how to scuba dive last year. I went to Belize, and my son was living there at the time, and I took my daughter, and we both... Andrew, okay. Andrew, yes, you shot Andrew. Yeah. And I took Selena with me, and we both took scuba diving lessons. And I mean, it was just wonderful. It was just an amazing experience. The reason I wanted to be a scuba diver, my husband, my late husband, had scuba dived all his life. And I'd always wanted to do this, but every time I kind of go, okay, this is the time I get pregnant. And then when you have kids and there was just no time. So here I am thinking, well, what are the things I want to do now? And that was one of them. And it was amazing. It was really almost a spiritual experience for me,
I bet.
Yeah.
Whenever I look at footage or even pictures of people who go scuba diving, or a lot of the underwater footage, I think it's truly amazing, and God willing, one day I want to experience that as well, because it's a different world. And I've heard of people here who go free diving.
Oh yeah.
And people who go winter surfing and winter diving, and that truly inspires me, because there's so much to do and so little time. But then again, it's like, what do you focus on? You're also really passionate about cold plunging.
I started cold plunging regularly last May. I met a number of women that were a little group that were coming together, and they were dipping every morning at 6:30. And
every morning.
Every morning.
Okay.
Well,
Rain or shine,
weekends,
snow or not.
weekends
Okay.
we do 8:30.
Okay.
So every morning. So I've been doing it almost every day since then, and
So how long is that?
since May.
Last
Almost
year.
a year. Almost
wow.
a year.
Okay, that's so inspiring.
Yeah.
I go once a week, but like last couple of weeks I've missed, so I can't say I go once.
Yeah.
Christine, that's so inspiring.
Yeah. No, it's wonderful. I mean, it takes a lot of the stress out of your body, and it wakes you up, and it just, everything is just zing. You know, you feel like you could do anything.
Did you cold plunge today?
No, because I had to be here.
I know, super
I had
early.
to
I'm
be
so
here.
sorry.
I'm going after.
You're going after. It's funny. I was, Erica was telling me about your cold plunging, and you know, since January 1st, like on January 1st, me and a bunch of friends, including Micah, who did my makeup, we decided to go for cold plunging because I had a New Year's Eve party at my place, and I was like, hey, why don't we kick off our new year? And you know, all of us don't drink, and you know, we were in bed by like 1 in the morning. Then we're up at, I think, 6:30 to do cold plunge with the sunrise.
Yeah, beautiful.
And
beautiful.
You know, people were just like, okay, this is the polar bear swim, and okay, it's just. But now we've made it into a weekly thing. Sometimes I've even gone twice a week, and what it does, exactly what you said, for your mental health, for anxiety, for stress. And I think there's something about doing something that is out of your comfort zone. I think that's what I find really inspiring about you. You're constantly pushing yourself out of your limits. You know, whether it's scuba diving or traveling or through different designs, you're very innovative. Like, tell me about that inner mindset, because I truly believe for entrepreneurs, whether you're designing women's wear or, you know, you have a tech company or you work with computers, whatever, it takes that inner mindset to play the long game, as I like to call it. You know, it's that inner resilience. And what I like about you is you're also very calm, but you're very on top of things. Christine is on top of things. So tell me about the inner mindset, or what do you do to keep that calm vibe?
I pray a lot. I think I have a group of women that I meet with at my home every other week, and we sit and meditate and spend time looking inward and looking outward, upward, and there's movement there. You know, there's just, it brings you a sense of peace and a sense of joy that I don't experience other places. So I do swimming. I do experience it swimming. So I think it permeates your life, right? And stillness is really important to me. So I spend time, you know, just being quiet and being aware, being present to what is really going on around me and with my business and with my family. I have a mother who's 99 this year, and she still wears her pearls and does her banking online. I mean, she's incredible.
And she's going to be watching the live stream.
Yes.
It was so sweet that she called you this morning and supporting you. That's such a gift.
She's fantastic. I mean, I take when I'm working on a new collection, I'll take all the prints to her and have her critique what I'm doing, you know. And she's got a great eye. Yeah, she's got a great eye. So
it sounds like, you know, meditation and really working on that inner peace, so you can bring that into your work. You can bring it with the folks you're working with, and also with the folks who wear your stuff, because I think it's that intention. You know, I always say it works from the top down, and because when you're bringing that peace and that calm energy into the world, to the people you work with, you're bringing that light in. People can feel that, who wear your garments, who wear your designs, and so it truly sounds like
that's lovely. That's lovely. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I hadn't thought that. I sometimes, you know, like Christmas morning, I always think, oh, how many people are opening up a box and pulling it out and just thrilled. But that's a lovely sense of how the love sort of goes through into the garment as well, I think. Yeah. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Christine. I'm so grateful that we have connected like this, not just today, but since last year, you know, running into you at an event, and the fact that we can bring these stories to our audience here. Thank you for allowing us to come here and film in your space. On a Saturday morning, waking up early. You missed your cold plunge.
I'm used to waking up early.
You're used
my
to
body was like, where are you going?
Yeah, why are you not in cold water on a Saturday morning? Well, the fact that you're going cold plunging daily is truly inspiring me to go in. And you go in for a couple of, you're there for 5-6 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Right
now,
it's a miracle if I last a minute. Most of my friends last 5-6 minutes. So thank you so much for the beautiful energy that you're bringing, you know, to this conversation, the beauty that you're bringing through your designs, and you're truly empowering not just me, but you know, a lot of the individuals who are watching, the women and men who wear your designs. Christine, congratulations on 50 years, and I'm excited to see what's to come the rest of the year. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this conversation inspiring, do please get in touch and let us know. Today we're here at Christine's Atelier in Railtown, 821 Powell Street. You can also come take a look. By appointment, or can individuals just show up?
No, we're open weekdays.
Okay, so they're open weekdays,
so
I believe 9 to 5. And you're watching On Location with Zara, produced with the support of TELUS STORYHIVE. Until next time.